agent is a realtor.
Tired of ads interrupting your favorite news podcasts? Good news! Ad-free listening on Amazon Music is included with your Prime membership. Stay up to date on everything newsworthy with podcasts like The Daily, Up First, and 5 Things Uninterrupted at amazon.com/ad-free. Just head to amazon.com/ad-free to catch up on the latest episodes without the ads.
We're the Good Neighbor Network, FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, audio and video streaming at wgnsradio.com. This is the Roundtable. A look at the news, views, politics, and people that are shaping Rutherford County.
Good morning, this is Bill Krause on the WGNS Thursday Roundup, Thursday Roundtable. And we've got an exciting program for you. I've got a gentleman that I'm going to introduce to you, and I'm going to at least give you a teaser that when I grow up, I want to be like him. That's my whole purpose with the Immanuel Ford. But before we do that, we've got 2 different wonderful young ladies here who will be giving us some special notice of events coming up in our community. Our first guest is no stranger to the WGNS family, Sarah Callender, who's the Executive Director of Main Street, Murfreesboro. So what's cooking, Sarah?
Hey, thanks for having me on for this update. So many things. This Friday, October 25th, is our very last Friday Night Live concert. And the Pilots, a local band here in town.
Are you going to sing with them?
Oh, gosh, no.
Oh.
I will dance, though.
Oh, okay.
They have the best dancing music. But all your favorites, golly, from 70s to now.
Can you sing one for me?
No.
Sorry,
No.
Sarah.
You're asking me all the wrong stuff.
I know.
No, but they're from 6:30 to 9:30. So it's the first time we've ever had a concert in October. We're making up the one that we had to cancel in June.
And I think your weather's going to be nice.
It's going to be beautiful.
Yes.
I don't even think you're going to need a blanket.
Or an umbrella.
I was worried about the cold. And then our last Saturday market is this Saturday from 8 to 12. We still have lots of vendors. You can get all your pumpkins and your lettuce, and there's even some tomatoes still out there. So come and get your vegetables, stock up on your jams and all your tinctures and all that stuff. We've got a lot of craft vendors that are going to be out there, but that's around the courthouse.
Again, the time?
8 to 12.
On Saturday.
The very last
2 days
Saturday
from today.
Market. And then if you have little ones, Trick or Treat Around the Square is a fun activity. Next Thursday, it is on Halloween, the 31st, and it's right after school, 3 o'clock. It's over at 5 o'clock, and the businesses shut down. They sit outside, and they give out candy, so the square is shut down from 3 to 5. It's really safe. The police are out there, so it's just a fun afternoon activity if you want to do some trick-or-treating before the night.
Brian, you going for the candy?
I would scare the kids, I'm afraid.
Okay.
Yeah, and then just to say, hey, the holidays are here. Soon as Halloween's over, we're in Christmas mode. So starting November the 8th is our Downtown After 5. We're going to have horse and buggy rides around the courthouse. The shops stay open from 5 to 8. We've got musicians playing, the art crawls set up around the courthouse. So get your Christmas shopping started in November, and you can enter to win gift baskets each week, and we're just excited about the holidays.
I always think of people who start the Christmas shopping in July, and then they wrap the presents and hide them so the kiddies won't find them, and they forget where they hid them. Yes,
That's me.
yes. So be sure and remember the spaces and places that you put the presents.
That's right. So support local small businesses in your historic downtown.
Sarah, thank you so much, and we'll see you come back with some more wonderful events in our downtown Murfreesboro.
Thanks.
Have a wonderful day. Our next young lady is one of my star students at Motlow State, has a great participatory factor in class, but she's here on behalf of her mother and the mother's nonprofit for a most worthwhile activity. Lily Hill. Good morning, Lily.
Good morning.
You're looking wonderful, and you're in pink because this is certainly Pink Month.
Absolutely. Raising awareness for breast cancer. Thank you so much for having me.
Sure.
I am here to talk about A Wig's Story, which is a nonprofit that was founded by Talina Hill, Michelle Williamson, and Olivia Hale.
How long ago?
2021 was when it was first founded.
Wow, so it's 3 years old, sure.
It is 3 years old already. It is based out of Bombshell's Hair Salon, which
I
is
love that name.
off of Thompson Lane. It is 803 North Thompson Lane, Suite 105A. They are having an event this weekend, which I'm very excited about. It is from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m., Friday, October 25th.
Tomorrow.
It's going to have local vendors, live music. There's going to be Slick Pig is bringing food.
Best food in
which
town.
We're so excited about. Mikey's Motors is going to have like a little golf cart riding around helping people get to the door and back.
Is Mikey going to be driving it?
I sure hope so.
I love his commercials. Yes.
I sure hope so. We're going to have a bunch of different things being sold, like little vendors, boutiques. We're going to have a photo booth. We're even going to have an honor wall where you can get a pink ribbon and you can write a loved one's name who maybe is a survivor or had passed from cancer, and you can put it on the wall in memory of them, which is so sweet. I love that we get to do that. I will even be having my own booth there.
Really? What are you going to be doing?
It's called the Candy Bar.
Oh.
I made homemade cotton candy and cookies and all kinds of different little goodies that I am going to be selling.
And you're going to bring the leftovers to class next Tuesday.
Of course. I would never leave you out of the excitement.
Thank you, Lily. That again is tomorrow, Friday.
It is tomorrow.
And the time again is
4 p.m. to 8 p.m.
4 p.m. to 8 p.m. And again, the address on Thompson Lane is
803 North Thompson Lane, Suite 105A. If you can't, unfortunately, make it to that event, you can read more about the cause and the nonprofit themselves at wgnsstory.org, which is wgnssportsradio.org. A lot of people like to forget that second S in there.
Exactly. Well, the amount of people who we hope the day will come that you don't have to wear a wig because of medical purposes, but a wig, you want to look nice.
Absolutely.
Well, we thank you for coming, and we wish you all the very best. You're certainly in a wonderful endeavor of helping people with the horrible disease of cancer. And everybody out in Murfreesboro and Rutherford County, you know where to be on Thompson Lane tomorrow afternoon. And when you're there, do me a big favor. Say hello to Lily for me. Say, hi, Lily.
I'll be happy to see you.
Good. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you again for having me.
Great. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I've met thousands and thousands of people over a lifetime, professionally, personally, and so forth. And very seldomly, but it does occur, an individual comes into your life who just has that special part to him, and then a special drive and enthusiasm and motivation. And as I said at the beginning of the program, when I grow up, I want to be like Immanuel Ford, and we know him best as Manny. His lovely wife, Beth, created a little background, so I'm going to read what Beth has written about Manny, and then we're going to talk about what makes him tick, and the primary purpose that I wanted Manny to visit us this morning is to give you the inspiration and give you the spirit and give you the drive how to be a wonderful, wonderful person like Manny, who he walks into a room and just lights up the room. His formal name is Immanuel. It starts with an I, the religious based rather than E. Immanuel Ford. You know, there was an old commercial for Ford Motor Company. There's a Ford in your future. And when I met you, I thought, wow, there's a Ford in my future.
Well, I'm happy to be in your future.
And he was born, I'm not necessarily going to say the year, but his father was a pastor, George Floyd. And his lovely mother, Lula Ford, was a nurse. His father was a business owner before becoming a pastor. His father is from Panterburn, Mississippi. That's right in the middle of the Delta?
Yeah, it's down there.
Wow.
It's there.
And his mother is from Greenville, Mississippi. She was a registered nurse for 46 years, and she became a pastor after the passing of her husband. They were blended family of a registered nurse, as she said, for 45 years. When Manny was younger, he's still young in my opinion, he worked on a horse farm and competed in horse shows as he got older. He moved to Shelbyville, Tennessee, of course, the horse capital of
You have
this
to say
part of the South.
Shelbyville.
Shelbyville. I better do it
Yeah.
as a local to train Tennessee walking horses. Do you ever have a Tennessee running horse? No, they were all walking horses.
They all run also.
Oh, I hope they walk slowly. Manny's also a self-taught musician, plays the bass guitar. He just picked it up at church as a young boy, and he's always played very well. He can hear something and play it by ear. He also has a great singing voice. I didn't know that. You know, when
Only
you're...
in the shower.
Oh, he could sing out in my yard if you wish. He was a football player. Were you good?
You know, I was mediocre, but I made the team.
Oh.
I did my part. I was a great team player.
And you are today in life
Yes,
in
sir.
the college level in Mississippi. His wife concluded this one, and Beth is just a lovely, lovely young lady.
She is.
She wrote, he also is the best husband ever.
Well,
I don't think, and I would
she
probably
has
add
some
he's
blushing.
the best father ever.
Well, thank you, Mr. Bill. Thank you. It's such a pleasure of being here, sitting with you. Such a privilege.
Well, I invited Manny because I've got to know him recently over a number of different activities and events. And as I said earlier, when you meet a young man who just impresses you with that drive, when you wake up in the morning, well, I can't even say wake up in the morning. I don't think you ever sleep.
Hardly. I tell
He
you, it's-
holds a job, and he also owns his own landscaping business. Started out how long ago with the landscaping business?
owning. We're going on 6 years now.
And you began with one or two clients? Or?
We began giving out free work. I made a post on Facebook saying, "Hey, anyone need their yard cut? We can come help you out free of charge," and did that. And then once that took off, and then started gaining traction and just put a lot of work into it. Yes, sir.
Wow, and now you're up to how many clients?
We have close to 60 something at this moment.
And I can
64.
tell you from a personal experience, you see Manny come into your yard, and not only the traditional mowing, and not only the traditional trimming, and not only the traditional weeding, but he comes in and suddenly the neighbors, and I have to share this with you, the neighbors from throughout the street come over and say, wow, we are so impressed not only with the quality of work, but the passion and the commitment and the dedication he puts into his work.
Yes, sir. And I've learned that over the years from my parents. And they've always instilled God in me first.
Good.
And with that, I'm just trying to be more of a vessel for him. And if he can use me in anything that I do, it's going to be well. So I just try to go by that
philosophy,
principle. Yes,
literally.
sir.
Let's take a few moments, though, Manny, and let's talk about a lady that's had huge influence on your life,
Yes,
your
sir.
mama.
Oh,
Talk
yeah.
about your mama, and shout out a big hi to your mama because we're on podcast and she's at home in Mississippi.
Shout out to my mom, Miss Lula Ford, such a wonderful young woman. And she loves the Lord. She loves the Lord, and she's done so much for her community, for her congregation, and for her kids. She's an awesome prayer warrior. She loves God. When I tell you she loves God, no matter what she's going through, she still loves God. But she's been a very vocal point in our life, or steeple in our community for sure. Everyone loves her. She comes in contact, and I believe what you get from me is when you meet me, that
That's
sense
part of Lula.
that's part of Miss Lula right there. So I'm so blessed to have her as a mom. Call her anytime, FaceTime her anytime, and she's ready to just have that smile saying, "Hey, it's my," she's ready.
Do that again. I think.
I might not. I probably shouldn't try that again. But
Well, you certainly
she-
made the point well.
she loves me, and I love her, and she loves, but she don't love me more than the next.
How many siblings do you have?
I have 7 siblings. It's 8 of us in all.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's 8 of us in all.
All Mama
No,
Lula, or
3 Four of us from my mom.
Okay.
So, and my dad in previous marriage.
Okay,
had
so it's a
blended family.
Blended family.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, she's a hard worker. She worked in the medical field for so long, taking care of people. So, right now is a situation where she's a little under the weather, but through it all, she will pull through, and you know, she still, like I say, she still give God the praise, and
Was she
all
strict?
goes to. Oh, listen here.
Yes. I think I hit a $50 question.
Hey, strict. Yeah, all the kids at the church knew she was strict as well. It wasn't she was just strict on her kids and let this. No. You came in a room with her, you automatically knew, okay, this woman she doesn't play. Let me sit still. Let me do what I'm supposed to do. And she's always been that way. But, you know, loving and caring also, compassionate. You know, just compassion is big with my mom.
And that has certainly transcended to you, Manny, in terms that I think you're compassionate when you trim a plant. I think you tell the plant, you know, I hate to be cutting you back, but this is best for you.
Yes, sir. And we do it with love. We do it with love. We want to see the plant thrive, and we want to see when your plants and shrubbery is thriving, the homeowner is going to come outside, and it gives them a sense of joy. It perks them up.
Yes.
Hey, you know, so it trickles on down the line. So if I can just give it to the plants will
They'll talk back to you and say, "Thank you, Manny."
They tell me every time I come, "Hey, we appreciate you today," and I'm here to listen.
Well, I'll say this: they're root for you.
Yeah. Good one.
They're root for you. How's that?
Yes, sir.
Or you go to a tree and you may say, "My bark is worse than your bite."
Yes, sir.
Your bark is great to be part of the tree.
Yes, sir.
How did you get your green thumb? How did you get into this? Because you
My
also
dad.
work for a cement concrete company. You drive a truck.
Yes, sir.
And so forth.
Yeah.
But your dad got you into.
Yeah, my dad had me working since I was a little kid, 5, 6 years old,
What did you do at 5 years old?
picking up paper. I remember.
Oh,
Pick up the paper before we cut the grass, you know, cleaning up. That was my job. And then he graduated us as we getting a little older than you. Now you're the guy that blows the grass off.
wow! You got to use the machine.
Then
That was the big treat.
He never did let me ride the lawnmower as much.
Oh.
He always put my sister on it. She was a great driver. My
Really?
sister's a great driver.
You were not a good driver.
Listen, my sister is a great. She's been driving a long time. My sister's a great driver. So my dad used to put her on the lawnmower. I was the guy that used the weed eater. So, but that's how I started as an early age. And when they say train up a child in the way they should go, that's a true statement, you know. So I left it for a while. I'm not doing this because I did it so long as a child. But as I got older, it came back to me. And it's just been a part of who I am. This is not all of who I am, but it's just
A small part,
yes,
but it's
sir.
a big part.
Yes, sir. Just one of the things.
Before we go on, give a phone number and an email and a web, if you have that handy, of your landscape service, Ford Landscape.
It's Ford's Perfect Lawns, and you can reach us at 615-796-1932.
One more time.
That's 615-796-1932, and that's Ford's Perfect Lawns. Or you if you need to see anywhere, you can reach out to us on Facebook. We're there, Instagram, we're there, TikTok also. So please feel free to reach out to us. We can definitely enhance your yard, and we're here to help.
And you know, I say this is not a commercial. This is not a point of promoting a business or what have you. But I think all of you, like I, have experienced there are many, many people out there doing many, many different services for the homeowner, the resident, the citizen, etc. But there are very few out there that truly put their dedication and commitment into work. If Manny requires to spend extra hours to carry out a project, he's there, I think, almost with a flashlight. Do you ever work with a flashlight?
I have. Yes, sir.
I can
Yes,
imagine.
sir. I'll just be worried about the homeowner saying, hey, it's pretty late outside, so we try to be respectful. of the homeowner.
Oh, that's
and
going to be a
property.
problem for you in a week or so. Don't we go off daylight saving in a regular time
Yes, sir.
coming up? And that's going to cut an hour off the end of your day. But you'll be out there at 5 in the morning.
5 in the morning.
Wow.
Oh yes, sir.
Wow.
Have to get there early. Have to get it done, and just making sure the quality is second to none.
Talk about your beautiful family.
Oh, we're awesome. They're awesome. It's just a blessing. I was blessed with a wife that loves the Lord, and she's been such a caring person in my life, and she cares for people.
Yeah, truly, I can testify to
She
that.
cares for people, and she enjoys it.
Her name is Beth.
And her name's Elizabeth Ford.
Okay.
She said, make sure you say Ford on there.
Right.
She has my last name now. But she's such a joy.
Yes.
She's a very positive person. I couldn't do a whole lot without her at this point in my life. She helps. The kids are just phenomenal. We have 5 great kids. They're smart, energetic, beautiful, loving. You know, just they have that spark that we have in them, and I'm so
I will
blessed.
testify to that.
so blessed
Including
to
the,
have
the
that.
baby is how old now?
She's 7 months. Our little chunk. We call her little chunk. She's 7 months and little honeybee girl, and she's beautiful and just a joy to the world. And my wife said the reason why we call her honeybee is because she pollinates the world with love and joy.
But she doesn't sting, I hope.
But she doesn't sting.
I understand. With this foundation of a loving family, your late father and your wonderful mother, your siblings from a combined family, and now with your lovely, lovely wife. You call her Elizabeth. I haven't called her Elizabeth in a long time. It's
Yeah,
Beth
it's
to me.
Beth.
My wife calls her Mary, but
I call her Beth.
Okay. And it's kind of interesting. When I first started calling her Beth, I said, that's not far from the former First Lady, Betty Ford, Gerald Ford's wife back in the 1970s, 1976. But Beth is she's a caregiver. And she's a caregiver with a capital C, which means awesome. It's just totally responsive to the person.
Yes.
Having given our radio audience the foundation of the man called Immanuel Ford, I want to talk for the remainder part of times about your optimism and how you see life and how you see the future. If you had a magic wand to make the Ford family the very best and the very most successful and happy that you could be, what are some of the, quote, things that would be in the future life of the Fords?
Well, we'll definitely be a foundation where we're giving back to people. And so as a Ford ambassador, which I would be, it would be to where we are giving back to the ones that's less fortunate and to the ones that need help, and showing the compassion and love that people need. And that's big for us. But the magic wand would be able to have the finances and have the all the things that we need,
all the resources
that we would
Sure.
need to be able to get those things done. And so for me to see someone else happy because of something that we've done for them is a great feeling. It's a great and I know you're attest to this because you're such a great guy. And
well,
I'll
pay you after the show.
You do such great things for so many, including my family. So that's seeing people like you and what you do for people. It tends to want to rub off on you.
Well,
If
I want to
hang around
cover.
here long enough.
I want to cover that more because the purpose of my invitation for Manny to visit us is in this election cycle, as we're coming very close to the election, November 5th. There's a pessimism, all the arguments and the conflicts, and the people are looking at each other, arguing with each other, bad words for each other. And I wanted to bring a spark of joy and a spark of happiness, and we're going to be talking more about that after our break.
Parents, you can help your child sharpen their basketball skills while also encouraging positive spiritual change with First Shot Basketball Skills Academy and Winter League. Sign-ups are happening now. Led by Coach Andy Herzer, this teaching league is designed to build strong foundations not just for athletics, but for life. If your child is between 5 and 14 years old, they can participate at Hooptown this winter. Don't wait, spots are filling up fast. For more information and to sign up, visit firstshottn.org. That's firstshottn.org.
Choosing the right insurance can be overwhelming. That's where Rick Hall at Rayburn Insurance comes in. At Rayburn, we're not just about policies, we're about people. Rick Hall will take the time to understand your needs and find the best coverage at the best price. We've been serving our community since 1973. So why not let Rick Hall take the stress out of insurance? Rick Hall at Rayburn Insurance Agency, where you're more than just a policy number. You're our neighbors.
America is under assault from communist China, and it's happening right here in Tennessee. For years, they've spied on our military bases and stolen our most advanced technology. But now, communist China is coming for our farms, buying up tens of thousands of acres, endangering our food supply, and giving them a bird's-eye view of our most sensitive military bases. Listen to Tennessee farmers talk about the threat from communist China.
China is buying up land all over America. Farmland.
Land, new military bases.
And right here in Tennessee.
And I ain't happy about it at all.
Marsha Blackburn won't stand for it.
Marsha Blackburn has led the fight to stop communist China from buying up our land.
Marsha will put an end to it.
That woman is strong.
She's tough.
This is America.
And every day Marsha Blackburn is fighting to keep it that way.
Marsha Blackburn, real strength for Tennessee.
I'm Marsha Blackburn, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Marsha for Senate.
This is Good Neighbor Events with Bart Walker. Brought to you by the law offices of John Day and AmeriCare Pest Control.
I've got pests, bees, buzzing rodents running all through my house. Ants chewing wood, and look, there's a mouse. I'm overrun with pests, but you're gonna be sure, safe and secure. It's the last rites for those pests. Call the best of the best to get rid of your pests.
893-7111. AmeriCare Services Incorporated. Call us today. 893-7111.
WGNS reminds you to shop local. Let's patronize our local family businesses. This is the weekend for Wine Around the Square. The main events from 6 until 9 on the Murfreesboro Square. The 13th annual Wine Around the Square benefits Ascension St. Thomas Rutherford's Power of Pink Fund. Wine Around the Square this coming Saturday night on the Murfreesboro Square. Also, take advantage of early voting. That's right, early voting going on right now. Saturday also brings the Harvest Days to Cannonsburg Pioneer Village. 10 until 4 Saturday, and it's free. There's a big community yard sale, 8 o'clock Saturday morning until 2 in the afternoon at the Kittrell Community Park. That's this Saturday. And that park is at 8067 the Old Woodbury Pike. And if you live in the city limits of Murfreesboro, now through January the 31st, they will pick up your leaves. Just pile them at the roadside, or put them in biodegradable bags. Those are WGNS Good Neighbor events.
Rutherford weather.
High temperatures warming into the upper 70s for this afternoon under mostly sunny skies. For tonight, mostly clear and calm, dropping back to the low 50s. I'm meteorologist Michael Caron, News Radio WGNS. Right now, it's 54.
WGNS is powered by Middle Tennessee Electric. MTE's Drive EV program has resources for members who would like to learn more about all aspects of EVs. MTE is developing programs and educational materials to answer member questions. Learn more at driveev.com.
This is the Roundtable from News Radio WGNS on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna. Listen and watch at wgnsradio.com.
This is Bill Krause again on the WGNS Radio Roundtable on a beautiful Thursday morning. And it's a beautiful day because I've got a beautiful gentleman here visiting us this morning, Mr. Immanuel Ford. You told me once before, but tell me why Immanuel in your name starts with I rather than E.
Yeah, it's just a funny thing. My mom said, she said, Jesus' name was with an E. You're not perfect like him, so we're gonna give you an I. And then what did you tell me about it?
I said,
funny.
but you have an eye for excellence.
Well, that was a great one.
You can look at a yard and you got an eye for excellence.
Thank you
So
much.
we just got started before the last break about Manny Ford looking at the future. Not necessarily the future financially, although with the amount of work, the amount of effort, the quality of work you do, the commitment and dedication to excellence that you provide, what's important is how do you see the world today and tomorrow, and what can and should people do to make the world what it should be rather than what it is?
Well, I see the world. We're always at each other a lot of times.
Mm-hmm.
But the main thing is when you get to know people, you'll be surprised how much caring people. We have a lot of people out in the world that care, and it might not seem like it because they get overlooked and drowned out by all the negative things. But my overlook is just if we can do more to be better humans towards each other, the only way it would go is up, because I think that's has a lot to do with it. So much we bypass people. We don't speak. We don't, and that's been something that I was always taught. Just speak to people. I spoke to a guy last night at work, and he was shocked. He was just like, I was like, man, hey, how you doing? And just something so simple, because I see you. And sometimes people, we forget that we want to be seen. People don't get seen or felt seen. And once you speak to them, it brings them in a whole different mindset. So I just want to be able to have us come together more and let that be shown more. But
well, you have something. I don't know if your Mama Lula taught you this or whether you were born with the genes on this. You have a smile that is so infectious, and you use a smile that is very infectious. I think everybody is born with a smile, but they either don't develop the habit of using it at all times. Not a grin, not a smirk, but a genuine smile.
Yes, sir.
And when you greet a person, that smile not only lights up the room, that smile lights up the yard. When you are out there in the front or backyard, and you turn on that smile, and wow, the sun is shining bright above you, and Manny is smiling on the ground with you. Yes. And that is so phenomenal, phenomenal.
Thank you, sir.
Have you always been so positive, even as a preteen, a little kid, as a teenager?
I've always had charisma, I guess, if that's what you call it.
I don't know if people are born or they develop it. I like to believe people develop charisma rather than necessarily are born with it.
I played football, so in high school, I went to a school that we knew each other. It wasn't the biggest school, so and I stood out, and we, just being.
Were you big at the time, as far
as? I put on weight now, but
okay. Well, your lovely wife is a wonderful cook. Let's put it this way. In fact, I've had to have a talk with her. No, I'm going over my limit.
She told me. But just growing up, I played music in church, so you're always talking to different people. You traveling to different churches, and my mom and dad, just watching them interact with people. My sisters have it, my siblings have it. So I don't know if it was something that's been installed in me. I believe that's what I would say. Like I was born with it, but I really don't recognize it. It's just a part of me. It's something that I wake up and it comes out naturally.
And what's going to be so special, and it is already special, you already can see it in his 7-month-old daughter.
Oh, she's lovely.
She's got the smile. I mean, she's got the Manny smile. And, and I'm very much a believer that a baby, an infant, a several-month-old, will pick up body language, will pick up body action from a parent or a loved one, a grandparent, and so forth. And the habit of smiling, the habit of happiness. Let's talk about the habit of happiness. I think that best defines you.
It's a habit that has been worked.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it has been worked. It's times where it's you do it because it is a habit, but you might not necessarily feel that way, you know. So, but like you said, the habit of being happy is whatever you do. A lot of times, you find yourself doing it without trying, and so I'm one of those where I've being happy. Sometimes you don't have the feeling of wanting to be. It's like, you know, you're just down, but doing it so much, it still comes out. So it's not fake happiness. It's a joy. It's just joyful.
I have to make a frank confession on the air to you, Manny.
Mm-hmm.
He rang the doorbell here a couple of days ago. He's doing our landscaping, so I have to indulge in terms of the public that this is perhaps a conflict of interest, but he's doing our landscaping. But he came to the door, knocked on the door, and he said in his totally happy smile and happy voice, can you come outside and take a look at some of these plants and so forth? We're going to have to take some of these things down and so forth. And I was swamped. I got to tell you, I was swamped. My desk was probably 3 feet high of paper, and I was behind on everything else. I said, Manny, I can't do it right now. I'm swamped. And I felt badly after, because the way I said it was not don't bother me or I'm too busy to talk to you, but I really felt badly the rest of the day of how I said it. But Manny immediately had a smile on his face that said, you know, I can understand, I totally appreciate it, yeah, I'll go take care of it and so forth. And, you know, I don't necessarily negatively respond to people, but I really felt badly about that.
You know, listen, I get it. You had a lot to do, and it didn't come off as rudeness to me at all. You know, it just came off to me as I have to get done with what I have in front of me right now. And I totally understood. And for you to trust us with your yard is very, you know, we appreciate that. That speaks a lot to us. So.
Well, if I have the neighbors come back and suddenly say, who is that man who is doing the yard? In fact, I found it interesting. Neighbor of each side came to you and said, oh, you're going to have to cut that branch. It's killing my magnolia. And the other lady said, oh, when those trees are dead on your yard, you're going to have it removed. But they came to you.
Hey, listen, I'm here to help, but we don't do anything without coming to the homeowner first. So I relayed the message to you because we're not just making decisions on your yard just because we ask. We see a need and we point it out, but it's up to the homeowner to agree with it or not, and we go from there.
The test of the pudding will be this. Here's a test of the pudding. Manny is now going to fill in all the blank spaces where plants have been removed. They died, they were outlived, and so forth. And I have given him literally a blank check to go to his nursery and to do his judgment, his analysis, his recommendation to fill in all the blank spots, both in the front and backyard.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to say, Manny, you picked the wrong bush. Manny, those flowers, the colors don't mix, and so forth. No, I have such confidence in him that I said, go for it. Go for it. I'm not the landscaper. I'm not the person who is a botanist. I'm not the person who knows my plants. I do know what I like. I do showed him a house that I said this is more of a formality yard rather than an informality yard, but let it be. So this is where his creativity, which is another major factor of how Manny is such a successful gentleman in the world of humanity, that he's a professional, but more importantly, he's a perfectionist, not to the point of being annoying, but a perfectionist in terms of he wants the very best.
Yes, sir.
This is far more, and I want to make this very clear, folks, this is far more than a promotion of a landscape service, although there are many, many people out there that, may want to upgrade their landscape. I always love to ask this question to entrepreneurs and new business people. And this is kind of what I will teach in entrepreneurship. How big, landscaping-wise, will you, do you want to be? And do you want to be the biggest in Rutherford County and the biggest in Williamson County? Or do you have an ideal size that you still have the ability to provide this personalized love for your work?
Well, I want, I want the company to be as big as it can be without overloading our purpose.
Mm-hmm.
If we can still be in our purpose and walk in fulfillment in our purpose, I want it to grow as big as it can grow.
But then how will you find other Mannies?
See, you train them up.
Oh,
that's all.
You select? Do you know how to select another Manny? And size that person up.
Miss Barbara said.
That's my wife, Miss Barbara.
Yes, sir. She said, "I wish we can clone him."
Yes.
It's the funniest thing ever. But it's just with love, man. Somebody might hadn't had the teaching or the parents that I've had to install hard work in me. So when they see you do it and don't feel like I'm just, hey, do that and just do that and don't help or show that, hey, I don't mind getting out here with you and doing it. It comes to that time where sometimes you just have to get dirty with them. And they see, oh, he works hard. They don't mind.
It would appear to me, again, I'm not putting words in your mouth, but it would appear to me that if you were out to hire one or two people to be supervisors or carry out certain of the projects as your company continues to grow, you're going to select the people not primarily on their skill knowledge, but on their people and personal abilities.
Yes, sir.
And you're going to hire them as human beings first.
Yes, sir.
Human beings who have goals and objectives of excellence.
Yes, sir.
Human beings who not only want to grow financially, but grow as a human being. Human beings who want to be the very, very best that they can be. And then, you tell them what kind of fertilizer to use on a lawn.
The best thing is that type of leadership can find someone that knows other things.
Mm-hmm.
It's the ones that knows the other things that don't have that. It's hard to follow them because they only know one thing. They don't know how to talk to people.
Sure.
And so to have people on the staff and have people with our team that knows how to interact with other people is the main goal.
Mm-hmm.
We can find out what color, what flowers, what shrubs, what fertilizer, what seeds, what all of that's findable information. But to be able to interact with someone and show them kindness and be able to say, hey man, yeah, you messed that up, but we can fix it.
Let me give you a wonderful analogy that just came to mind as you were talking. In a world that has bigotry, in a world that has discrimination, in a world that has people judging people by the color of their skin or by the gender of their person or by their religion or what have you, I can't begin to think of a better message that you send out to the world by your planting a garden. People of all flowers of all color, flowers of all size, flowers of all areas and so forth, and they blend together to make this beautiful site called the garden.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think a flower may go one direction, another flower may go another. The only thing is you make sure the weeds are gone and so forth. But I think the analogy of what you're doing in life is symbolic of what life should be.
And we all have the same soil.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
We all different flowers or different shrubs, but we're planted in the same ground.
Absolutely, and we use the same fertilizer.
Yes, sir.
I really would kind of ask you on that point. If it was 10 years from today, and we'll take the year 2034, that sounds really way in the future, 2034. I want you to think about where Manny and his family would like to be 2034, October 24th. And we'll be right back while you're thinking about that response.
Hey folks, it's Mike Sparks, 49th District House member. Running for re-election, want to ask for your support.
The issues Mike's championed include the First and Second Amendment tax cut bills, passing legislation to improve mental health, the Safe Storage of Firearms Act, plus he sponsored affordable housing legislation that passed this year. Mike Sparks has been outspoken on Jefferson Pike for 20 years, which led to the $70 million widening project that's almost complete. We need Mike Sparks to remain in the State House.
This Mike Sparks asking for your vote.
Paid for by citizens like Mike Sparks, Alicia Sparks, Treasurer.
Are you a parent of a 2 to 7-year-old? Listen closely for an exciting free radio offer. By now, you've probably heard of ABC Mouse, the award-winning and revolutionary online learning program that's changing the lives of early learners everywhere.
ABC Mouse is like a little one-on-one teacher. It has helped her so much.
Designed by teachers and early childhood learning experts, ABC Mouse seamlessly aligns with what your child is already learning in school. And with over 7,000 learning activities and more than 650 lessons, it's the most comprehensive early learning site on earth.
I have been teaching for 13 years, and I've never seen a program like ABC Mouse. It encompasses science, math, reading, social studies.
It's just endless what they can learn on ABC Mouse. I've always had to use 20 websites, and now I can just use one.
Right now, we're offering a special radio promo to try it free for a month. But you have to go to abcmouse.com/radio to claim your free month. That's abcmouse.com/radio, abcmouse.com/radio.
Sponsored by Age of Learning.
This is Kim Dunaway from Sunshine Nutrition Center. You hear me on Monday mornings at 7:20 talking about how to lead a healthier lifestyle. We carry supplements, personal care, and grocery items at both our Murfreesboro and Smyrna locations, family owned and operated since 1989.
At Bud's Tire Pros, we sell all major brands of tires, and we invite you to stop by today for that next set of tires. Or maybe you need us to check out your vehicle before you head out of town. We offer everything from brakes to batteries, alignments, and more. No appointments necessary, just stop on by.
I'm Allison Mitchell with Bud's Tire Pros. We're located on East Main Street, exactly 3 miles from the town square, 1 mile past Rutherford Boulevard. Visit us online at budstireprostn.com.
At Middle Point Landfill, we strive to serve our neighbors.
This county is willing to put themselves out there and take some new initiatives.
Mike Clausen, General Manager of the Middle Point Landfill.
We want to transform Middle Point into a sustainability campus where we are building recycling facilities. We're building cutting-edge diversion facilities.
Middle Point values its relationship with you, which is why we never tire of serving our neighbors throughout Rutherford County.
Learn more at middlepointlandfill.com.
Premier 6 Theater on Broad in Jackson Heights.
Let's all go to the movies.
Check out what's showing at murfreesboromovies.com. Popcorn popped fresh daily.
Movies at the good old
Premier 6 on Broad in Jackson Heights.
This is the Roundtable from News Radio WGNS on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna. Listen and watch at wgnsradio.com.
This is Bill Krause in the third and final segment of the WGNS Radio Roundtable Thursday morning edition, and we are having a very inspiring visit with a gentleman that I've recently come to know, both he and his wife, who have been doing work for us, both in terms of landscaping, and his wife is perhaps, in my judgment, the best caregiver you can have for anyone, especially for someone you love like your wife. I just asked Manny Ford the question before we took the break. Let's assume it's October 24th, 2034. Where does Manny see himself and his family 10 years from today?
Well, healthy.
That's key.
That's the biggest issue. That's the biggest thing. Healthy and financially healthy.
Mm-hmm.
We want to be a very steeple in our community. We want to be where people know who we are in the community for doing such great things for the community. And to be able to, in 2034, to have our kids to where they are growing and being prosperous in their life as well.
Can you handle teenagers?
Listen, we have two right now. Okay. They're 13.
How are you doing with teenagers?
Do you see the grays popping in?
Oh, absolutely.
They're coming. They're starting to show up. I showed my mom this morning. But in 2034, I would love for my family to be financially free, where we've learned and mastered the art of money. Mm-hmm. And to understand money more.
But money as a tool, not as a purpose.
as a tool to get things and to utilize things and be more resourceful in an area in our life where money is very useful. So, but that's not the main goal. I would love just our family to grow, be happy family.
Very much in spirit.
Oh, very much in spirit, and be more involved with our church and the church community, and just giving back in our community as a whole general thing. But for us as a family, a whole family, we would love to be a steeple point where people can say, hey man, that family is a great family because they help.
They help, they love.
And they're ready to serve.
Exactly. And that's really the whole purpose of why you're here this morning, is because we need so many Mannies in this world today.
Thank you.
So many Mannies. And there are a lot of Mannies out there. Let me put it that way.
We need more Mr. Bills.
Well,
we need more Bills.
Well, so Bill and Manny can save the world. How's that?
You can be Batman. I'll put on my Robin.
Well, I don't know if I should go as Batman on Halloween. You know, you mentioned Batman. Tomorrow's the beginning of the World Series. You know, Batman. Yeah. Okay, that's a person up at plate. Batman.
Yes, sir. I get it.
My students never get the joke, so happy joke time, which we start out every class with. The grade curve is the A students laugh, the B students smile, and the C students don't get the grade because they don't laugh at the joke. In fact, I always tell people the only reason I still teach with a young audience is because my lovely, lovely wife, my 3 children, my 4 grandchildren, they have so many wonderful traits to them with one exception. None of them have a sense of humor. In all the years I've been married, all the years I've raised 3 children with my wife, and all the years I've been blessed with 4 grandchildren, the one thing they don't do is laugh at their grandfather or father or husband's jokes. So what did I have to do? I had to go back to teach school so that I had the power of the grade. Yeah. That if I had the power of the grade, you had to laugh at the joke.
Hey, listen, if they were smart enough, they'd be laughing all through class.
Absolutely. Even if they don't get it, they don't like it, or they don't want it. So as we close out for the remaining moments,
can I ask you a question? So what inspired you to keep going at this level? Like, you full speed every day, all day.
That's what we're put on earth for. You know, I love to tell the story because it really is a historical balance. My late father was born in the 19th century, in 1898. Wow, yes. I was raised in the 20th century and lived well into the 21st century. My grandchildren and my students will, no doubt, a goodly number of them will live into the 22nd century. So I can be, as a human being, look at the span from the 19th century on my left side to the 22nd century on my right side. So I've got a phenomenal historical point. But the point is, and I really have to give credit to my parents, like you gave credit to your parents, that I was taught an extraordinary, not taught, I don't like to use the word taught, I was exposed to a great love of one's fellow man, a great love of being the best you can, but being the optimist, being very much for bringing out the best of people. I tried to do that as a city manager for 25 years, bringing the best out of the community. I did that for 20 years as managing nonprofit associations and bringing out the best of membership and people we served. And this year I celebrated 50 years of teaching and bringing hopefully out the best of the men and women, roughly 26,000 that I've had the pleasure of being exposed to and trying to motivate and trying to encourage since 1974. But it's part of life. It's part of a commitment. And I still look to the future. Yes. How long that future may be, only the good Lord will know. But until that day comes, I'm going to live to the future. Actually, believe it or not, and I'm saying this on the air, and I never thought I would, I want to be teaching when I'm 100 years old. I want to be in the classroom when I'm 100 years old. And I say, okay, children, here I am, you know, as they're wheeling me into the classroom. But if I can partake of building motivation, building enthusiasm, building exuberance, that's my calling.
Yes,
and my calling is, if I can spread that to other people. It's just a little point in school. I will tell students, when you leave this class, you're walking in the hallways of Motlow, say hi to everybody. Doesn't mean that that's weird. Just learn the habit, give a smile and hi. People you know, people you don't know. And don't just say it, hello. It's the old saying, if you said, hey, how are you today? I'm dying of cancer. Hey, that's great. Have a wonderful day. They heard you, but they didn't listen. Listen to people. That's one of your many traits, Manny. You do listen. You hear something, and it goes through your mind and goes through your emotion, and you're able to sense, and you're able to reflect, and you're able to respond in just a glorious, glorious way. I want to sound like I'm not just embellishing this young man that I've had the opportunity to meet, but every so often when I meet the Mannies of the world, it just brings a new spark to me. It brings a spark that says, wow, the human being is a wonderful thing. Yes, the human being reflects what the good Lord wants us to be. But, in final comments, what would you say about life in the future? If you were telling our friends out in Radio Land out there, what could they do today, Thursday, October 24th, to suddenly be a slightly better person than they woke up this morning with?
Well, not to be too religious, but you can start by giving your life to Christ and just be more for God. He'll put you in the places where you need to be. He'll put you around the people that you need to meet. I wouldn't have never met Mr. Bill. I wouldn't have never met him if I had never given my life to God. I'm just be honest. I leave it there. I don't want to get too deep into that, but just being honest, just being a great person don't get you. You have to give your life to God, but he'll direct your path, and he's been directing my path so far, and I'm so honored to meet this man. He's such a wonderful guy, and I love talking with you. I love sitting and talking with you because you're so full of knowledge, Mr. Bill, and it's just the things that you've forgotten and over time is the things that I wish I can just grab hold to also. So you're just full of knowledge. I love it, man.
I've been accused of being full of trivia, and remembering things that have absolutely no bearing, of the life, but the trivia humors me. It has been a wonderful opportunity and a wonderful pleasure to have with us this morning Mr. Immanuel with an I, known by his friends and family as Manny Ford, who brings so much to it. One last shout out to your mama.
We love you, Mom. Shout out to Miss Lula Ford in Greenville, Mississippi, the Delta. We love you. You're such a shining star down there. Keep shining so bright. Love you, Mama.
And thousands of people on the air are also sending that love to Mama Lula.
And we thank you.
We'll see you next week. Bye now.